It's time for Girl Chat, and today we actually have something very, very important to talk about. It's heartbreaking and unacceptable to have to continue to read headlines like this. Another unarmed black man was shot dead. On Friday, September 16th, Terence Crutcher, a 40-year-old community college student and father of 4, was shot to death by Tulsa police officers. Police said officers found Crutcher standing by his SUV, which had broken down in the middle of the road. No crime prompted his apprehension. There is footage of Mr. Crutcher being shot, but we will not be showing it because we refuse to show another innocent human shot down like an animal. Now, in the footage, a male voice is heard saying, quote, "That looks like a bad dude too. He might be on something." In a press conference, Tulsa Police Chief Chuck Jordan said that Officer Tyler Turnbow tasered Crutcher, and a second officer, Betty Shelby, fired at Crutcher after telling a dispatcher he was not cooperating.
Wow.
Police Chief Jordan went on to say, "I will make this promise to you. We will achieve justice."
Wow.
Now, Officer Shelby has been put on administrative leave pending an investigation. We have to mention that obviously not all police officers are capable of this kind of violence.
Of course.
And we just feel like we have to talk about this because this can't keep happening over and over and over again. What does it take? How many more lives do we need to lose?
A couple of things I wanted to point out, that they had aerial footage from the helicopter from the air.
Correct.
And from the air, you could hear one of the operators saying, "Oh, that looks like a bad dude." How can you judge somebody from the air? Unbelievable.
He looks like a bad dude. How? From where? What
And
was
he's
he
walking
doing?
with his hands up like
Yes,
this.
with his hands up.
Yeah.
Well, according to
the
someone that's
according
on the
to the
floor.
New York Daily News, the officer, she said she shot Crutcher. She thought he was high on PCP, and she had recently gone through drug recognition training. Evidently, you need to go through some more training because you don't know.
You don't know.
I mean, I've been saying this for so long about all of this that's happening. When people that don't understand why we have protesters, why we have the Black Lives Matters, is because of these type of situations. And specifically about the police, there needs to be a nationwide reform of police policies, police training, because this keeps happening.
Yes.
We need to stop. We have to stop. We have to stop looking at this and just going, "Oh, it's another brother
And
dead."
that's where I don't-
You know, when are we going to stop this? We
That's
got
where
to
I-
do some reforms. That's what we have to do.
That's where I, honestly, this is real. I am sick and tired of talking about this. I want to see some changes.
Yes.
I want to see some justice.
Yes.
And I believe, you know what, Tam? I believe that police officers are good. We need law and order in this country.
Yes,
we
that
cannot
is true.
have this many people, things that's happening without law and order. That's why it's important. But also, when I say look at the reforms, I believe that, you know, even like if you look at a pilot has certain things. A pilot cannot fly for but so many hours. Maybe our police officers need that because they're stressed out. They're going through different types of things. They're supposed to go through all this training, but nobody is going back and looking at these policies because we can't say, well, all police officers. No. Let's start looking at the problems and make some solutions.
Yes, and
please.
change it. Because, like you said, not all police officers are bad. I have police officers in my family
My
that
father
are
was a
great
police
people.
officer.
Yeah, your dad was
a good dude. Yes. He
So
was.
not all police officers are bad. My issue is, I don't know what kind of oath you guys take of brotherhood, but your number one oath should be for justice.
Right.
So I get it. If you're saying, okay, not all police officers are bad, well then let's point out the ones that are bad because they're making the rest of you look bad.
Right. Today, it was Mr. Crutcher. Tomorrow, it could be your family member. This is why we have to start changing this. This guy is a big black dude. Every big black dude is not bad. I mean, I date a lot of them. They're great. I love them. I love a big black man.
What's even scarier, too, is that we only, I believe, have started to see this because of social media and the power of telephones being able to document this. This has been happening forever, for as long as we know.
Oh, can you imagine what happened before they had phones?
Cameras, right? We just have cameras,
right,
now.
to document it.
But you were onto something, Adrienne. You said a lot of the bad cops are hidden within the system, making all the great cops look bad. So maybe what we can do, because I'm all about finding a freaking solution to everything. Maybe what we can do is we can really, and Nakia Jones, she was the woman police officer who spoke out about the shootings, months ago.
Correct.
She said something that really, really stuck with me. She said, we really need to watch out who we're hiring as police officers. That whole system, if you're going to serve our community, you need to really like the community that you're actually serving.
There you go.
You need to not have these preconceived, negative, racist, notions about the community that you are serving. So maybe there's a way that they can weed out those type of people before they become police officers in the first place. So I really think we need to take that seriously.
We absolutely do. And you guys, this is now affecting our daily lives. I mean, obviously, no one wants to hear this on the news. And on top of that, when a police approaches your car, I was just in Florida with Israel, and we got pulled over because it was in Florida, we didn't know that some of the signs were different, and we got pulled over by the police. And my first reaction was to start filming. I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel like, as a minority, I'm being pulled over by a police officer, and I'm literally getting so worked up. I was trying to, and I filmed the entire thing just for the chance that, God forbid, something were to happen.
And we also don't want our children to grow up in fear about that. And we also don't want them to be desensitized to all this craziness that is going on right now. We don't want this to become a habit. We don't want this to become a norm. So we have to do something about it.
To make a difference. Yeah.
I think it's deeper than we're looking at just one occupation.
Yep.
It's us as a people. We have a problem in this country with stereotypes and with cultures, and we need to work on it as a country, as a people. We're just we're just tagging like the police, but there are other occupations that I'm pretty sure people are having stereotypes and issues with different people of different classes, different cultures, and we need to keep working on it. And this is the reason why we try to have a show like this that shows different cultures. So maybe you can get to understand that the big black girl sitting at the table is not what you think she is, okay? So that's the reason why we try to push different types of things, especially on this show. So, I mean, it's gonna keep happening. We're gonna keep talking about it because, you know what? We need to see some solutions.
Absolutely.
That's what we need.
We need change.
This all comes after weeks of protests from several NFL players led by Colin Kaepernick, who began his kneeling during the national anthem at NFL games. Now, many NFL players followed suit, including the most recent protest Monday night at the Philadelphia Eagles-Chicago Bears game. That night, multiple Eagles players raised their fists in protest of racial inequality and police brutality, joining Kaepernick and many others.
I think, with everything going on with the NFL as well, I really, really hate that it is our right, and it is our right as Americans to do silent protest. That is actually what we fought for in this country. That is the most American thing, is to be able to voice our opinion and do silent protest. And I hate that not just once but twice, we've almost taken attention away from what the protest is about to try to say that people are anti-American or anti-something. Black Lives Matter is because of what? Of moments like this. We are just taking the time to hone in on a situation that is happening. Saying Black Lives Matter does not mean that all lives do not matter. It is just that this is the situation at the moment that we are focusing on. Does that make sense? And along with that, him kneeling down does not mean he is anti-American. It means that he is using his rights as an American, the rights that we fought for, to have freedom of speech and freedom of silent protest. So my dad was a Marine. I have family that's Army. They feel like yes, they could feel away. Yes, it's the American flag. But at the end of the day, when I speak to my family that have been a part of, obviously the Army and law enforcement.
And I can relate to that. I was an ex-Army brat. My mom and dad were in the Army.
What did they say?
Oh, exactly what you were about to say.
Well, technically, we fought for them to have that right to be able to do that.
Well, it's interesting because at first he started sitting, and then he had a conversation, Colin Kaepernick, he had a conversation with someone, and he decided that it's more respectful to kneel.
And I respect
that's the
that.
reason
Yeah,
why
that's
he's
awesome.
kneeling. And he's also donated $1 million to charity. So did the 49ers as well.
But no one is putting any attention to that because instead
one thing I
they
will
want to
say,
put attention to something
one thing
else.
I will say, whether you agree with what he's doing or not, he is shedding light on this conversation
Correct.
that we are having right now.
And that's
because sometimes
what needs
people
to
just
happen.
need to be a little bit more educated about what's going on.
Absolutely.
Well, with so much sadness, there has to be a light. There has to be hope. And there is some. The most natural step, the surest way to make actual change happen is to vote, people, okay? Chicago musician, my boy Chance the Rapper is trying to be that change by teaming up with the NAACP to register concert-goers to vote during stops on his upcoming magnificent Coloring World Tour. It's a great tour,
I went to go see it. I saw it at the Great Theater.
Oh, it was great, okay?
I loved it. Oh, my God.
It's an election year, so vote your voice. Vote at national and local level. We all have a voice in this. Now, if you at home are not yet registered to vote, go to our website, thereal.com. We have links to help you get registered because it's coming up. The deadline is like in October, and they're different for each state. Now, for, California is October 24th, but some can be as soon as October the 9th. So please go to thereal.com.